Welcome to the Virtual Real Estate Investing Podcast. Today it's a solo episode with me, John Plumstead. I'm going to go over the tech stack, the technology that we use to run our company. And there's a lot of them, and I'm trying to keep this short and concise, so I'm going to get right to it. Okay. How do we get data? If we want to get data to run our business, how do we do it? For single family homes and properties and county records, we use PropStream. That's where we comp properties, and that's where we get a lot of our outbound marketing leads is PropStream. It's $100 a month. It's invaluable to our single family home business. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource. We also use Zillow more and more. We use Zillow to find FSBOs, and then we also, for sale by owners, then we also use Zillow to figure out what homes are selling for that haven't closed. And then we use realtor.com some as well. They've got good data. And then we can also really easily get agent contact information on realtor.com. And then what do we use for lead gen? If we want to generate leads. For cold calling, we use what is now Ready Mode. It used to be ZenCall. It is now called Ready Mode. And we're happy with that power dialer. What no one has used that basically is what it does is if you have 3 people calling, it might have each of those people calling 5 numbers at a time. So you actually have 15 different phones ringing on the other end. So it makes you much more efficient, like faster than anyone could, humanly possible. I really screwed up how I'm describing that. Faster than anyone could actually do it by themselves. Okay. So great piece of data. What about SMS text messages? We're using Launch Control. We're sending about 1,000 text messages a day, 5 days a week. It's going well. Not the volume we were back in 2020, but we're still sending lots of texts. And then we don't do a lot of ringless voicemail, but when we do, we use Drop Cowboy. Drop Cowboy is, like Spartan-esque type website. All they really do is send text messages and RVMs, and it's not a great user interface, but it works and it's cheap. Okay, and then sales, how do we close deals? We close deals using Zoom. We were on CallRail, but we've moved to Zoom. It's also how we do all of our internal meetings is on Zoom. But we also do all our sales calls on Zoom now as well. And then our CRM that we use is Monday.com. A lot of people use Monday.com as a project management solution, but we use it as our CRM as well. It's not perfect, but what we like about it is it's highly customizable to fit our needs. Okay. On the contract to close piece, we use Zoom and Monday.com as well, but we also use Go High Level. Go High Level allows us to call, text, send RVMs. It kind of mashes up the project management CRM and the call, text, RVM platforms into one. In theory, Go High Level is amazing and solves every problem in your business, but in reality, it's a little clunky, I think, or a little buggy maybe would be the right word. I like it, but I don't love it, okay? And then on C2C, we also post all our deals to Facebook and Instagram. And then for marketing, we send out our emails on MailJet. We use, for social media stuff, we use Hootsuite to post, so we can post to multiple places from one website. Every time we do a podcast, we use otter.ai to transcribe that podcast, and it makes it really easy to edit and get quotes and stuff if we transcribe it. And then we publish our podcast using Buzzsprout. Let's see what else. For our overall business, we use Google Drive, for email. And to save everything, we use Slack for most of our internal communications. As we look at self-storage, for data for self-storage, we're using Radius Plus right now. We've had calls with Yardi Matrix as well, so we might go to Yardi at some point, but right now we're just using Radius Plus for the data associated with self-storage. And then for the property management of self-storage, we are going to use Easy Storage Solutions, okay? So I think that was pretty quick. Hopefully it didn't take too long, but that's all of the tech platforms we use. To me, that sounds like a lot. So could we do it better? Could we use less? This is how I think about it. Okay. I think we have when you look at tech, you have, well, maybe 4 solutions, right? Solution number 1 is like avoid tech. Okay. I don't think that's the right answer, right? Like you could avoid technology and just say, hey, I'm going to do it the old school way and not use any or very little technology, right? I think the other end of the spectrum is you could say, hey, I'm going to build everything custom to my business. So all my processes, everything I do, I'm going to get a developer to build this system out, and it's going to be the gray line or the, my company solution. I don't think that's the right answer either. Okay. So then the 2 other options you have is option number 1, you use a few platforms that are really, really good. Okay. And cover a lot of different things. Okay. Or the other option is you use a lot of platforms that each have a very specific solution for you. Okay. So one option, if you want to get something that kind of covers everything, would be Salesforce. And we've looked at Salesforce, and we may go to Salesforce at some time. That's a CRM that does a lot besides just a CRM, right? Someone could potentially build out their Salesforce so it can run a good chunk of their business, but it's expensive. It's hard to build out. And it just takes time to build out. And then if you change your business processes, and you got to try to change the back end in Salesforce, I think that can be tricky, right? So it's somewhat frustrating how we've done it. Because what we've done is we've said we want the best tech solutions for each thing, which means we have 20 different tech subscriptions that we pay for, but it makes it really easy to get rid of tech platforms. We've been on, I don't know, 3 or 4 CRMs. We've been on multiple dialers, multiple texters, multiple callers. And what we found is, basically all the tech stuff sucks. It all sucks. So you just have to pick the one that maybe sucks less, right? And maybe that sounds negative, but what we find is a tech platform that's really good for our business today, even if that tech platform doesn't change, 3 months from now, our business may have outgrown it. We may have different needs. The market may be different. Things just change, and very few companies are going to be growing at the exact same rate and overcoming those exact same problems at the same time. Okay. So it's not really that the tech platforms suck, but if you want something that perfectly fits your business, good luck unless you get developers inside your company to be working on it every day. Okay. So as I look at all these, I think we're probably paying like maybe $2,000 a month for tech. I haven't added it up, but I think it's generally right around there. So, let's say we are a company in the middle, right? I think as we mature, we may end up just going completely to Salesforce. We just don't want to pull that trigger until we feel really good about going to Salesforce 100%. So it takes a bunch of money, it takes a bunch of time, and we want to make sure that we get it built out to our solution. Okay. So I think maybe a mature company goes to Salesforce, or maybe HubSpot, right? I'm hearing more and more about HubSpot all the time. So maybe HubSpot is actually going to compete with Salesforce. We'll see. And in the middle, we've got tech platforms all over. But what about if you are just starting out? What should you do? If you're just starting out, I would say in the single family space, you need PropStream to get data, unless you're just going to call FSBO leads on Zillow. I think you need PropStream for your data. Then I think depending on how much money you have and what you want to do, I've sent out thousands of cold text messages and cold called just from my iPhone. Some people don't like using their number, but I think that's possible. And then I've also just kept track of leads in a free Google spreadsheet, right? So in reality, if you want to get started in single family, I would say pay for PropStream and then use your iPhone. If you want to use a Google Voice number, or you want to get Zoom or something like that, you can. But you can also just use your iPhone, keep track of hot leads in a Google spreadsheet, and you'll be set. Thanks for listening. Take care.